What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Going to be playing a game on TCG today, and I've got a brand new deck for you all today. This is Rayquaza GX Naganadel. Now, I just whooped this list up, so I don't really know how it's going to work, but it's got some ideas in here. I'm not saying they're all good tournament winning ideas, but we're going to give it a shot so that we can at least say, yeah, we did try that. So we are rolling with our Rayquaza GXs in here. There are no Vika in this list. This is just pure Rayquaza GX Naganadel energy switch, just fires. Yeah, that's just all we got. So the idea is going to be, oh gosh, we got an Executor deck. Oh, I've also got a Giraffe Rig in here. Yes. Okay, so I jammed a bunch of fun cards in this list because I knew that this deck would have a hard time competing with non-GX decks, right? So we put a Muck in here. We also put a Giraffe Rig in here to try and even the playing field against these decks. I also have Zorora GX in here, which is pretty sweet. So let's see how we do with this deck. I also got Wishful Batons. I mean, gosh, there's just like a lot of fun stuff in here. All right, so let's go ahead and Ultra Ball away. We'll get rid of the Lightning Energy. That's fine. I have the Muck. I have Zebstrika. I have a Ditto Prism Star, which is in here. Zorora. Is our Giraffe Rig? Oh, no. Our Giraffe Rig is prized. Oh, goodness. All right, so we're going to have to go with Plan B, which is, I don't really know what Plan B is, but we're going to have to try and figure that out pretty quick. So that's okay. I'm going to get a Ditto Prism Star since I do have an Ultra Ball here instead of a Mysterious Treasure. Playing 4 Mysterious Treasure, 3 Ultra Ball, which should give us like some decent search options. Put the Wishful Baton on the active. That's fine. And then just go ahead and Cynthia. We are going to want to look out for, so we've got that. I can go and, yes, I would like to mill. We do have to look out for, what am I talking about? We got Energy Switch. We're going to have a turn 2 attack. We do have to look out for Shrine, right? So we do have to worry about that a little bit. I don't think I even have any counter stadiums, but it's all good. We're just, we're out here winging it. So let's just Energy Switch while we have it. That's fine. And then I have Zebstrika for next turn. That's pretty sweet, right? So we're going to be rocking with that. And then we can start charging up energy from the discard pile with our Naganadel. I mean, the idea seems fine. It seems to be functioning. We just need that. We desperately need that Giraffe Rig out of our prizes so that we can stop what my opponent is doing right now with that fresh squeeze. They are throwing their energy into the discard pile, which is going to make for some very powerful attacks from Alolan Executor, which is the opposite of what I want. I want them to be very puny attacks. So we'll see if we can dig out that thing early. My opponent might go for a Synthesis early here. They do have Cynthia. That, or they're going to end up retreating. I do love that the Alolan Executor deck has a bunch of usable attacks early on. So the Fomantis has Synthesis. Look for a Grass Energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon. The eggs also have Multiply, which is very good for starters. Energy Drink is insane, especially if you're playing against an Ultra Beast deck and you just want to get Grass Energies on like all of your Pokemon to get protection from Sceptile. Bunch of different ideas we can roll with there, and I really do like that, all these little basic Pokemon have usable attacks. So interesting stuff here. I don't actually know. I think I'm gonna end up sprinting for sure, and then I think I want to Guzma. I would love to draw into Zorora GX. That's ideal so that I can Guzma. I guess I could switch into the Poipole, and then if I just draw into a Naganadel, then I'll be able to knock out the Execute. I think that actually seems pretty ideal. So let's do that. Yeah, so we're just going to Guzma up this thing. And the idea is if we can accelerate from the discard pile, with the Nagnadel, we'll be good to go. So let's give it a shot here. We got our Zebstrika. We're going to sprint. All right, come on. Let's see a Naganadel, please. That would be great. Yes, we got it. All right, so we are rolling now. Let's go ahead and do this. We could accelerate just fine. We're going to get a Naganadel out of the deck, and we get to let loose, so that is awesome. The deck's working, guys. It's working. It's doing what we wanted it to. Isn't that insane? I'm surprised. I mean, I, for one, am pretty shocked. So let's see. We got to shuffle draw 4 more cards. Busted. I can, let's see, I have attached return already. We get to charge up, and then we're just going to use that charge up to retreat, of course. Knock out my opponent's egg, and then we're good to go. We're cruising here. We've got a turn 2, Guzma, Dragon Break, 90 damage. We've got Zebstrika. We got Naganadel. There's a lot of things going here. Do we get the... No, we did not get the Girafarig. So let's, we got to sit here crossing our fingers to see if we can't eventually get that out of there. But I love the different techs that we have in this format. It's just amazing. I mean, first of all, Zebstrika making its way into so many decks is just super cool. It's a great card all around. And then also techs like Muck. Muck is here for Granbull. I'm not exactly sure that we could win the Granbull matchup anyway, but we're going to try with this Alolan Muck. And the idea is that we could shut down their Orangaroos with Alolan Muck, and then we just have to manually attach to Rayquazas and hope that they can never pair their hand down. I guess they do have a really hard time attacking, without Orangaroos Instruct ability. So we can evolve up into Muck, which is searchable with Mysterious Treasure. So it's not actually like a horrible inclusion. And then we can just go in and attack with Naganadel, because even though we don't have Stormy Winds when we're playing against Granbull, we do have Charge Up available to us still. So we could just Charge Up and just kind of turning point a bunch. And since we're going to be doing 80 damage and Granbull is going to be struggling to announce attacks at all, we actually could win that matchup. Like, theoretically, we could theoretically win that matchup. I don't exactly know. This is all just in theory. And then our other theory was that we would be able to win this matchup with that Girafarig that we have in our 5 remaining prizes somewhere, which would be great. Imagine just every turn Girafarig just shipping 2 of these energy in the discard to the lost zone, and then all of a sudden their Exeggutor is just like not doing any damage. That would just be fantastic. My opponent does have 2 eggs out this turn though, so that is very good for them. And I'm worried that by the time that I actually am able to get, let's see, what do we have here? Worried that by the time I'm actually able to get my hands on the Girafarig, it might be too little too late. But that's all good. Let's just go ahead and let's ditch that Muck. We're going to get ourselves another Poipole here. Start to set up a second Naganadel, since it may end up being a situation where we're just like attacking with Naganadel. I guess we should also... I guess we could go in with like just one Naganadel, right? Because we just have that one turn where it's going to do enough damage to actually matter. Then I can... Cynthia is fine. The energy switches are kind of, duds now. I guess they're not, because I could charge up an energy switch. So that's actually just a super live card all the time, and I really do like that. Because we could just charge up here and then energy switch that off. That's like really cool. And definitely a neat little thing we could do. Now, we are going to have to charge up a Naganadel eventually, but not quite right now. And since I don't really need anything, I am okay to just... I can just sprint this hand away. I guess I could have like sprinted first to see if I hit another Guzma, but I don't really feel like it. I only have 2 Guzmas in deck, and I've already used 2, so I'm going to save that for like a more meaningful turn. And then I'll just Lily so that I can, I could do something next turn. My opponent says I have a good deck. Thank you, opponent. That's so nice of you. All right, and then... yeah, this is cool. We got Rescue Stretcher, but we don't need to use it yet. I'm not going to sprint. No use in doing that. And no Girafarig still. So looks like we're going this game without the Girafarig, which is going to be sketchy. My opponent is going to hit me for a ton of damage this turn. Do they finally have their Shrine as well? Oh no, and they have a Choice Band. That's like 160 damage just off rip there. That is, that's bad. 2, 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They actually only have 4 different types of energy in their discard pile right now, which means that they're only doing 100, so 130. They don't have their Lurantis either, but they are going to be able to use Sunshine Grace. So they'll probably get that Lurantis, that or they're going to get a Shuckle and discard more energy. So we'll see which one they opt for. But this is, yeah, this is looking to be a little tough here. They got another Gravile, so they're searching for 2 Pokemon a turn. This is going to be bad for me here for sure. We can knock out Executors with these. That we do have going for us, which is great. We are noticing the bench space is just like very, very constrained in this deck, though. Like, I don't have a lot of flexing room at all. We may... You know, I mean, the Lele's are good. We need to play Lele's. I don't think that, like, those are cuttable, even though we don't really have bench space for Lele's. The Zebstrika is really good. I think, like, we need to play that. Marshadow is, like, good. They're all good, right? I just don't think that we necessarily have room for everything, but it's cool. We're rocking out here. We're doing what we need to do. My opponent's not going to remove that Wishful Baton, so that's pretty dope. Let's go ahead. There's nothing to Rescue Stretcher for yet. We could Energy Switch. There's no real reason to do that either. I could sprint this whole hand away, which is fine. I could sprint the whole hand away. There's not anything I really need. Sure, let's sprint the whole hand away. We don't need any of this stuff. We're fine. Rescue Stretchers, nah, we're good. We play like 3 Rescue Stretchers in this deck. So that's pretty good. That's like what I wanted to see here. We can double charge up. We can Lily. I can attach an energy. I probably should have attached an energy for turn. I don't really know what I was thinking there, but it's all good. I was thinking that I was going to, you know, charge up with all these. That was my thought. So not a horrible thought. There we go, because we want to have energy in the discard pile. So sprinting there was great, because I get to just, you know, discard a ton of energy. Then, sure, we'll attach to the Naganadel here, and then Lily, that's cool. And we need to be a little bit careful about decking out, but we're fine. And then we can Dragon Break this thing, and we're going to go down to 3 prizes. So next turn, we are going to be able to hit with our Naganadel. There's the Draft Rig. Oh, our hero. Get lost. Put 2 cards from your opponent's discard pile in the Lost Zone. Is it worth it, though? Is it worth it? I'm not doing any damage. If I put 2 away, my opponent can still knock me out, I think, because they have that Lurantis in play. So that is really tough. That is really tough for sure. I have to, like, kind of gauge things. Do I Guzma up Gravile and then try to get lost? I don't know. You know, I think this is a card that we needed to get into the active, like, early. We needed that to happen very, very early. So we'll see, you know, kind of where this game progresses here. I think my opponent is going to get 4 prizes, which is just, oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought they just had the Guzma. So, like, I am confused about why they promoted the Gravile. Because they, I was just anticipating the Guzma and then hit into this Rayquaza and then just boom, you know, that would be horrible. But let's see, what does Wishful Baton do? Does it have to be knocked out by attacks? If this Pokemon is out, yes. So Wishful Baton has to be triggered by an attack. So my opponent is very intelligently promoting their Gravile here, and they're going to deny my Wishful Baton. And now that I'm, like, playing Wishful Baton, I don't even think that that's, like, necessary. I have 3 of them in here, but it is not needed. We can see that this deck has just got tons of energy in play all the time, so I don't really need that. I think this might be an overkill card in this deck. Choice Band might be better. That or some sort of counter stadium could be better. So, you know, something else probably. I don't necessarily need that, but interesting nonetheless. So, do I just, like, charge forth here and try to take, you know, more prizes, I guess, with Naganadel, and then maybe a Rayquaza to try and finish things up? Or, you know, what do I do here? This is interesting for sure. I think I am going to promote Naganadel for now. And I love that Naganadel is kind of a pseudo-free retreater, just because you can retreat with it and then charge back up. I do like that a lot. I think I'm going in for the Guzma play here. Do I have any energy in the discard pile? I do. I have plenty. I just had a Rayquaza knocked out. I don't really know what I'm thinking there. I think we just go Guzma and knock out the Alolan Executor, put a little pressure on my opponent, and make them, you know, have to continue to hit things. That, or I could go knock out the Lurantis, which would be big as well. But I think I just like, you know, using Naganadel to take out that Alolan Exeggutor this turn. And yeah, we'll charge up there. And then I could charge up here as well. I think the Giraffe Rig might be too little too late. It kind of feels that way. I have 2 Guzmas remaining. Do I use them? I mean, I'll have only 2 prizes remaining. That's really good. I think I don't want to bench another GX right now, so I think like the other Poiple could be good as well. And then I don't want to sprint, so we're just going to Guzma up the Alolan Exeggutor, and we're going to Turning Point for our 160 damage. That's cool. Let's just do that. So interesting. I'm interested to see how this will buff out for me. Will I be able to take my final 2 prizes? I don't know. Stay tuned. Oh, so interesting stuff. If my opponent has a crazy play where they just like have Guzma on my Rayquaza this turn, that feels really bad. They would need an energy. They would need an Exeggutor. They got the Exeggutor. They just need energy and a Guzma, which would definitely be good. And then I'm kind of like on the back foot. I don't exactly know. Oh, they do have Sceptile, so they can like make some of their Pokemon immune to my Naganadel, which is kind of cool. And then Gravile has 80 hit points, so that's like really good and super relevant that I can... Oh no! What is this? They play a Sceptile GX! Oh no, they do have... Oh my goodness. Okay guys, that was really tough. That was really tough, not gonna lie. I wasn't exactly expecting all of that. So, they play Sceptile GX. I could just win the game if I can knock out that Sceptile GX. However, I might not be able to knock out that Sceptile GX. That's a reality. So, we're going to figure it out. All right. I could Zorora GX and full Zorora GX and then full Voltage GX. That's not really going to work because I need more bench space. So, I think we're promoting our Naganadel here just for sure. My opponent's got 2 prizes. This was an interesting evolution on my opponent's part. I don't really know if I 100% agree with that, but let's see where it gets him. Because I would have Guzma'd and Turning Point that, and then I would have just had to. So I guess I agree with it because now I can't Turning Point anything for knockout. So, but I do just have a win condition if I can knock out that thing over there. So. Let's get rid of the Giraffe Rig. Let's be honest, he ain't doing nothing. All right, so Rayquaza. We got energy in deck. We don't have an energy switch in deck, though. So that's bad. That is bad. So what we need, because I can only attach an energy, I needed an energy switch to be in deck, for sure. But we don't have it. I think I'm down. Am I down all 4 energy switch? No, I prized one. Okay. I do have a Wishful Baton in deck, though. So I can Guzma up this Sceptile. It's only got a retreat of 1. That, or we just hit into the Exeggutor, but I did... interesting here. I think we have to just hope that my opponent doesn't have Guzma to knock out my Rayquaza. So let's just go in here. Yeah, that's fine. We're just going to accelerate, for sure. So we're going to take a Grass or a Lightning. We're going to take a Lightning, yeah. That's fine. And then we're going to attach here. I hope I didn't like mill the remainder of the energy out of my deck. I think I still have energy in my deck. And then let's just evolve here as well. And we can charge up a couple of times. You know, we're just going to accelerate as much energy into play as we can. And then we just have to hit into this Exeggutor and then just hope that next turn I can go Guzma and go get my final energy out of the deck and just hope that that's what we got. I don't think I can Lily here. If I Lily here, I draw 4 cards. I actually can Lily here. That's fine. And just have, like, you know, have the rest of my deck kind of at my fingertips here. We have plenty of energy left in deck. That's good. I can also put the Wishful Baton on my active Naganadel, so that will kind of give me more options to keep my energy. And I think it should be difficult for them to pull off a knockout on my Rayquaza this turn. I don't really think that they will be able to do that. So, yeah, I should have all the pieces in place here to kind of win the game on that Sceptile. I have a ton of energy in play. I have lots of charge ups. You know, we're probably solid, but a Guzma could make things kind of interesting. I think they're only doing 140 damage right now, which will be 150 after Shrine, so they would need a Choice Band as well. They would need like a Choice Band, an Energy, and a Guzma. So an energy to retreat for free. That is a lot to ask. So it looks like that we might be able to get in here against this Alolan Executor deck. Oh no, what does this do? Discard a special energy from your opponent's active? That's not going to do it. They have Sightseer, so no Guzma. I think I might have got them stuck. They have to attack into the active. And we might take our first game ever played as a dub with Rayquaza GX Naganadel. That's it. They're just going to pass. Yes. Oh, we got there. Let's Guzma this thing out. We're doing a ton of damage. Well played, sir. Well played. We got it here. We've got, you know, we could charge up even more. Look at this. This is nuts. I could charge up one more time. We're doing 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Oh, like tons of damage. That is crazy. Craziness. 390 damage. There's our final energy switch as well. And we did it all without Girafarig. No Girafarig needed. We got there otherwise. That was incredible. Sweet. All right, so 1-0 with the Ray Naganadel deck. That didn't feel horrible. That really didn't. I think the deck is kind of valid. So we're going to roll another game here, see how it goes, and then I'll show off the list. Definitely impressed by the first go there. I got like halfway into another game, so I just cut it. But I got halfway into another game, and I tried to GX twice. I Tempest GX, then I went into full voltage GX with Aurora, and I was like playing against a Turtonator deck, and I was just like, oh no, we goofed. All right, so we're like, cut, yes, all right. Just, you know, use some cinematic editing there, and then on to the next one. So we are going to stick with this game, though, no matter what happens, all right? No matter what, we're rocking this one. You guys are going to get to see it. It's just, you don't need to see me try to GX twice in one game. Not after that, you know, awesome turn one or awesome game one there. You don't need to see me, you know, trying to be like, what is happening? Why can't I full voltage? Oh, duh. So yes, we're gonna roll one more game here with Ray Naganadel. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel nice to be playing Rayquaza again. Ray Vikavolt was one of my favorite decks, you know, before Lost Thunder, and unfortunately the deck I think is just a little bit outclassed by Blacephalon as far as kind of, you know, burn and go decks go. Let's Ultra Ball away, yes, 2 of these, and I'll probably get a Ditto Prism Star if I had it. There it is, great. So love the Ditto Prism Star. The fact that it can kind of just be whatever it wants is fantastic. Then we'll go in with the Cynthia as well. And since we're only playing 3 Ultra Balls in this list, I always feel like the Ditto Prism Star early is a good option. Because if I have the Ultra Ball, I'm just going to go grab it. I mean, I only play 3 Ultra Balls, so it is a little bit harder to search out. We're going to, you know, the Let Loose is like a little greedy here, but I think I kind of want to. I'm fine with it. And, you know, it limits my opponent's options as well early on. And then this is fantastic for me. It's really, really strong. My opponent only has 4 cards. I have a Rayquaza in play. That's great. And then I can just energy switch off of this thing onto the active. And then I have a Rayquaza just ready to attack turn 2 here. I really want to keep my opponent from doing any sort of shenanigans with Chimecho, so we're going to try to keep that from being a thing. But even if they do get a Chimecho into play, I have the, you know, Rayquaza with 2 energy in the active position, going to be knocking out whatever Chimecho they have. So that's really nice. This is something that this newer Rayquaza deck can do that previous Rayquaza decks were not so adept at. And as you can see, yes, the Marshadow did stick on my opponent here. They don't really have anything going on. I can Tempest if I want to. But let's just Cynthia here and see how this goes. I doubt I'm going to get like double energy switch. All right, we got double energy switch. Okay, let's go. Let's go. This is insane. You know, spoke too soon again. I doubt I'm going to get double energy switch. All right. or we could just grip it like that. Let's go. We're going to double energy switch off of one off of here, and then I think we get to charge up, right? Oh my gosh, busted charge up. Let's go. So we can get that up out the discard pile as well, and we're going to energy switch again, and we get to sprint. This deck is fire. This is insane. 120 damage here. I'm going to run my opponent right off the board. Let's sprint. Get rid of that Mysterious Treasure and get a fresh hand of 4 cards. This is insanity. I can just ditch the Zorora. Honestly, I don't really need the Zorora. I could ditch the Zorora and get, like, anything else. I could probably just get another Poiple, honestly, and just go from there. And that's just going to be kind of an infinite supply of energy for me next turn. So I'm going to ditch the Zorora and the Lightning Energy, get myself another one, a Poiple person, People person. Put that onto the bench, and then, I mean, honestly, look at this Dragon Break. This is like, you know, very aggressive deck here. We are definitely kind of popping right off the, you know, the starting line and just like going in really quick. The Zebstrika is amazing. The synergy of the deck, just everything going with Mysterious Treasure is incredible as well. The energy switches are really, really good. I think my opponent is trying to play some sort of spell tag deck here, but it doesn't even really matter. The aggression is just so insane. And we've got 2 Rayquazas powered up, turn 2, energy switch, and then we're going to get to sprint again. Totally insane. Oh my gosh, let's go. And we've got the Wishful Baton on the active. You know, we could just do so much damage turn 2. We've got, what, 210 damage turn 3 here. So we got turn 2, 120, turn 3, 210, and there's no looking back. Like, we're just going to do so much damage. My opponent is going to get to play some with Spell Tag, but I'm not really worried about it. At this point, what can they do? I've got Zebstrika out here just sprinting along, and they don't really have time to knock out the Zebstrika. They really don't. It's just, you know, they have to take care of the Rayquazas. If they do knock out the Rayquazas, I've got Wishful Baton, so I'm just going to throw more energy into play. That's just really, really good. Now, the Zorora I think is necessary. It is, just in case you like get on the back foot there and need to full voltage GX, but I think it's kind of just there as like a just in case kind of card. I'm not playing Choice Band in this list, so the whatever its attack name is, Plasma Fist, is not quite as effective. We do really like the free retreat sometimes, but the bench, as you can see, this bench is just chock full. We really want Zebstrika, we really want 2 Naganadels, and we really want 2 Rayquazas. So there's really only one more bench space for an extra card, and it's either going to be Marshadow or Lele in most circumstances. Just not really bench space for anything else, as much as we would love to just have that Zorora on the bench. We play Zebstrika and 4 Guzma in this list, so honestly, if my opponent is trying to stall by bringing anything into the active position, first of all, everybody except for Rayquaza has a retreat of 1. So Naganadels can easily get themselves out of the active by just charging up. Zebstrika can be retreated with an energy attachment. Marshadow can as well. And I have 4 Guzma in deck and Sprint to be able to help find them. So I have tons of options here to see the cards in my deck, get them out of the active position. So as cool as Zorora's ability is there, Thunderclap Zone is to give us free retreat. There's not really a lot they can do. My opponent is just kind of passing it along. They don't really have anything going on in that hand there. So we're just going to Dragon Break the Necrozma GX for knockout, and that's just going to be game. That's it. I don't think that they're going to be able to do anything here. They just got let loose early into oblivion, and that's it. So great stuff there. I'm interested to see what you guys think of Rayquaza GX Naganadel in the comments below. I look forward to playing this deck more. This list seems kind of flames, so we're just going to keep this together for sure. My opponent might be just like trying to time me out here, just like get me to concede just because either their computer's dead or they just, you know, didn't really like my deck or something like that. So it looks like they are trying to run the timer out on every turn because, I don't know, maybe they're salty or something. Yeah, but they don't have it. So good game to my opponent, and, you know, definitely a fun deck. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comments below. I am going to show off the list a little bit here for anyone who is interested. So let's check out that deck list, and I could show you guys the creative thought process that went into putting this beast together this morning, right when I got to the office. So we took my Vika list. I just literally like took that, and then I just took out all the Vikavolt stuff. I took out all of the rare candies, all that, and took out all the Lugias, and then I was like, all right, let's start jamming some Naganadels in here. And then I was like, oh, you know who I love to play with Naganadel? I love to play Zebstrika with Naganadel because it discards energy, duh, and you also have Ditto Prism Star, so there's like no reason not to, right? So I love that. Decided to jam Zebstrika in here as well. And then I was like, well, I got Ditto Prism Star. I might as well play like Muck. And then I was like, oh, but we probably lose to Executor. But we didn't today. So then I threw a Giraffe Rig in here because I was like, you can search it out with Mysterious Treasure. That's great. This is like an all basics deck, and the stage 1 is very simple. So there's plenty of room for techs in here. You definitely need 4 energy switch. Shout out to anybody who remembered my original Rayquaza list for this new format that played Rays and energy switches. That list wasn't as good as Vico Ray, but this list is as good as Vico Ray. This list is very, very good from what I could tell. It just does what it needs to do very well here, so that is pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure that it's better than Blacephalon. It actually is just, the deck plays extremely similar to Blacephalon. But it's definitely a Blacephalon alternative. You guys can kind of tell by all the different cards we have in here that it is just kind of similar to Blacephalon, except where Blacephalon needs to have beast rings and kind of needs to have you need to get energy in play in order to send it to the Lost Zone. This deck kind of snowballs. Once it gets enough energy into play, it just has that sustainable, huge amount of damage that is pumping out every turn. So they're different decks, but they're similar decks as well. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of the deck in the comments below. Thank you all for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell. Check out the art contest that I am hosting. The art contest that involves artwork from you guys submitted to the channel, $100 grand prize. Gonna put the details in the description below. Giving away $100 on my birthday. December 14th is when the contest window closes to the winner, and the contest is Pokemon and Extreme Sports. So whatever sort of creative Pokemon Extreme Sport idea you got in your mind, make sure to put that together. Send it in to andrew@fullgripgames.com, and I'll be getting all the submissions together there, showing them all off on the channel so I can shout out all of the amazing artists that watch Tricky Jim. And as always, thank you all for watching. Check out the Etsy store and Patreon stuff in the description below as well. Peace.